Welcome everybody to SRN's coverage of the Inspired Racing League. This week we are in Michigan. Drivers are qualifying. We have 5 or 6 that have not qualified. Everyone else has taken time. You see the ticker on the bottom of your screen there with the guys who are on track taking times, and what position they are in is in the top left corner of their little box. So keep an eye on that as we go through our race info for this evening's race. Daytime race today here in Michigan. 80 degrees is the temperature outside, 30% humidity with 18-mile-an-hour wind. We have a track temperature of 111, so it's going to be a very hot track today, and I don't see that lightening up at all. 2-mile racetrack here, 100 laps we are going to run tonight, and the drivers are almost all done. Let's see, we got a couple of guys we can kind of try to take a look at here that I think are on track. No, not even hitting. There's Brent Hanrahan right there. He's taking his laps, and Cameron Westenberg is also on track right now as he is done. Westenberg looks to be done as well. Just put that thing in P3, as you can see on the bottom of the ticker there. So as these guys get done, looks like there's going to be about 3 cars that are not going to qualify tonight. So everyone else is finished, and time is about to expire here. So we'll get the grid in just a moment, and we'll show you how these guys are going to line up. There we go. So Cade Cannon takes the pole tonight. Tim Lynn is going to be in second. Cameron Westenberg in third. Aaron Stanton is going to be in fourth. Fifth is going to go to Stephen Henning. Elijah Fisher will be sixth. AJ Thompson in seventh. Eighth is going to go to Brett Hanrahan. Bobby Hadaway is going to be ninth. Josh Henderson will be 10th. Sorry, Chris Leota will be 11th. Frank Chavez will be 12th. Looking back a little bit further in the field there, 13th will be Jason Williams. Mike Hauser will be in the 14th position, and 15th is going to go to Colt Ward. Shane Haar is going to be 16th, and myself and Garrett are not driving tonight. We are race control and broadcasters, so for whatever reason, this thing was set up to where we couldn't spectate. We had to register, so we are not actually going to be racing, but that's your lineup for tonight. So let's take a peek here at our top drivers, if you will, as they begin to line up here. It looks like I said, Cade Cannon is going to be in your pole position. So we're going to go ahead, and as soon as they get rolling here, we'll talk to him real quick if we can find him in Discord. And as much as I hate to say it, I don't see him in there. Oh, there he is. I see him. All right. We'll see here just a moment here. These guys will get going. Just like I said, a 2-mile track, going to be very hot. It's going to be slick. You're going to have to take care of tires when we're doing a full 100 laps here. You got to figure these guys, 200-mile race, these guys are going to be having to pit a couple of times. Tires are going to be a premium. You don't see a ton of cautions at tracks like this, so they're really going to have to hold on to their tires. They're going to have to manage that, not race too hard for one position and just kind of pace themselves. So we will see how that plays out and who's able to do that best. And now that we got it rolling here, we see Cade Cannon there. Let's take a peek real quick, and let's see if we can drag him in here. Cade, this is Matthew in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, well, you got the poll. You get the interview, my man. So, great lap out there. What do you think is going to be the strategy here?
Just probably keep out of trouble most part, but also don't try to slide in front of someone that has a head of steam, because that's usually ends bad, either for you or the people behind you. So just, I think, play it safe. Just use the draft when you can, and just kind of take the runs as they come.
Yeah, well, from what we're seeing, it's going to be pretty hot track temperatures, so going to have to hold on to those tires, and we'll see what happens. But you got a good qualifying lap, good car here. We will be watching. Good luck.
Thank you, thank you.
And you're in Chevy too, right?
Yes.
All righty. All right, there you go. So that's our pole sitter. We're going to see what he's got tonight. Always good to get on pole. Great spot to be, obviously. And it looks like we're going to go one more lap here, and then we will get under green. So, look at some new paint jobs. You see the 4 of Elijah Fisher's got the bush still sticking with the. Well, that's a Harvick one right there. That's not that. I was going to say sticking with Hamlin, but no, that's not Hamlin. That's a Harvick right there. And let's see. Aaron Stanton still got his Mountain Dew. The 99 of Tim Lynn, that's a new car there, so Red Sox theme. 12 cars got the Mobile 1. Got a little bit different one. GoDaddy for the 10. So we got some alternate paint schemes out here. Good to get a fresh look, but it's confusing for a broadcaster, so we'll see if I can keep up with these guys. And I would imagine that we're going to see some of the guys that are a little bit further back in the field don't want to have that patience I was talking about and take care of tires. They want to see if they can get as many spots as possible. Got to understand it's a long race here. At 100 laps is going to be plenty of time to move through this field of 16 drivers tonight. So shouldn't have any panic, but you never know. You'll see some guys kind of try to move through as quick as possible. So you'll keep an eye on those movers in the back as well. All right, they're rounding for the last time. We'll see the pace truck kind of jump off here, and on the flag man, not the restart zone, on the original start, and here it goes. Cade gets himself a good jump. And he's going to kind of go a little bit middle outside of the track, kind of diamond back in. Outside definitely keeps momentum. Inside is shorter, you know, so you gotta kind of weigh your odds there. I think they're going to keep a little more momentum, especially in 1 and 2, staying to the high side. We'll have to see what these guys do. As you see the 32 there, Wessenberg, he's going to jump to the inside and make it stick. Now, with fresh tires, that's real easy to do, but once it starts getting worn, we'll have to see just exactly how he can do that. And you see coming off that corner how much he lost to the momentum on the outside. So that is kind of what I thought was going to happen, as now we see the 99 of Tim Lynn. He's going to dive to that very bottom there, and see that's going to cost him as well. So he was in second. He may actually be dropping back. Look at the difference in momentum there. And he's going to have to try to slide in. The 18 is going to go to the bottom. So early going looks like middle of the track is kind of where you want to be. That bottom does not have a lot of momentum. Inspired Marketing. Hey Tess, how you doing tonight? Inspired Racing's #1 fan. And look at where we got back in the back of the field here a little bit. Let's go closer. We got the 12, 42, 21 of Shane Haar right there. Elijah Fisher kind of out in front of this 5-car little pile up here. Not pile up like wrecking, of course, but just very close racing there as they kind of get that sorted out there. See here, 99 and Tim Lim kind of falling back a little bit. Got everybody using every bit of the lane. This is what I love about these kind of tracks. Auto Club is this way. Michigan is the same here, as you can use a lot of different lines, try a lot of different things. And what you'll see is the guys with the more experience, they will try different lines at different points in the run. As the tires start to wear, they might move up the track a little bit to keep the momentum, but take advantage of the grip on the short run on the bottom. And so a lot of different races. You see kind of a 3-wide situation there. And the 72 there on the inside, that's Henderson. He is kind of sticking to that bottom. And you see that entry. Look at the speed in the entry that he has. And he's just going to move it right on up. And now we'll have to see. We'll go back to that blimp. And you see that he's able to keep that pretty good. That's a lot better than oh no, and you see the 99 just kind of went down because he didn't want the 72 cutting off his line, and ouch, that was a hard hit right there. And that's got to bring out the first caution here at lap 5. And Tim Lin, let's take a look at this. This is going to be rough right here. The 72, you see, he comes up, and the 99 goes down. And I mean, you got to assume the spotter didn't say nothing. But man, hard hit right there. So, Tim Lin will absolutely be using his one and only fast repair right here. While all of that was happening, Wessenberg, who we saw with a big head of steam there, he got the lead from Cannon, and he will be our control car for this first restart. And I wouldn't imagine, we'll put up our track map here, and it looks like just the 99 is on pit road. So like I thought, nobody pitting just yet. And we will get everybody lined back up here and get going again without any need for a pit stop at this point. Rough hit there for Lin. Got to be one of those things, if you're in VR, it's kind of a wild ride, make you a little dizzy. 72 also of Josh Henderson. We were watching him before this all kind of transpired right there. He was using the bottom and had great momentum. He was able to make that work, whereas other guys, when they went down there, they didn't really get what I would call what they needed. They actually were losing off, and as I say, nobody's going to pit. You see the 9 car come in from second place right there, and then you see a bunch of other cars. And I can barely see, but I think that's the 4 of Elijah Fisher. I think Stanton is in. 12 is in of Henning. So a number of these cars that were, say, mid-pack are in, and we had 7 cars that have stayed out. So we really have, of the 15 or 16 cars here, we have a complete split strategy already. 7 on one, 9 on the other, and 7 have not pitted. So interesting to see here. Josh Henderson. Okay, we got a prediction for Henderson to take. I mean, can't argue with that right now. He's strong, but he stayed out on this, so we'll have to see how that plays out for him and the others as well. I can't imagine there's a huge fuel strategy at this point right now. I think there's enough action going to go on the rest of this race that I can't say that you would top off here and that it's going to make a huge difference later on. It's just too early for that, but I wouldn't put it, I wouldn't take it away from anybody trying it to see if it does go green, if they could make it on 1 stop or maybe 2 when others have to do 2 or 3. So never too early for a driver to start strategizing, but I just don't know that it's going to make a huge difference right now. All right, we should be getting 1 to go here. I think it's been long enough. That's the biggest problem with these big tracks, is the pace laps take forever. Yep, lights are off, so we'll get 1 to go. These guys will get side by side gridded up here, and we'll get ready to go again for this one. Wessenberg is going to be on the bottom and Henderson on the top. Obviously, the 32 is going to be the control car. He's going to be able to go wherever he wants. And it looks like the 4 car went back in and topped off, and one other, I think maybe the can't quite tell. Take a look back in the for just a second here. That is the 42 car that went back down with him. So, yeah, not sure. These guys playing fuel? Are they topping off? Something's going on with those guys. Keep an eye on that, see what they're going to try to strategize and do here. So you see the 9 car, the first one to pit there, he's in the screen there. He's in 8th position. Went from 2nd to 8th by pitting, but now he's right there lined up with these guys that don't have fresher tires. And even though it's only been a few laps, I bet you're going to see a little bit of a difference here. There we go. We're under green. The 32 gets a great jump, so he can kind of take the outside and arc into the corner if he would like. There you go. You see him kind of going up the track a little bit to arc into that corner. We got 3 wide pretty much right there for 2nd place. I think the 72 is going to prevail here at Westenberg just because of the momentum. But look at the 27. Got a great run there on the bottom. We'll take a look as they go through the corner here. 27 looking really strong, coming up the track just a little bit though. And he's going to have to get off the throttle there because he was kind of washing up the track a little bit, and this is going to cost him a lot. Look at Shane Haar there, right up his bumper, and gives him a little bit of a shove to give him back up to speed. Now we got a race. Westenberg on the inside here. The 32, 32 up top. Henderson on the bottom side. And it looks like momentum is going to go to, well, now he's got the 27 of Stanton pushing him, so that certainly helps. Go back up top here. That's where we get the best view at this track. Fortunately, those other ones not so good. So 72 gets down, but look at the momentum that 32 is going to have. He's going to probably pass him back before they get into 1 here. Shane Haar now taking the bottom of Stanton, trying to get position 3. What's going to happen here? Are they going to be able to keep it on the bottom and stay strong? It looks like the 32 is falling back, and Shane Haar a little. The inside just not quite as fast for these guys. And the 9 cars, it's in 7th. He's still just kind of hanging back there, not really able to do much with those tires just yet. And look at them all lined up on the outside now. I think everybody's figuring out that that is the fastest route around. Now nothing really going on as far as passes. These guys are lined up, first 4 of them at least. And Shane Haar still on the bottom there, but now you see the 9 car. Now that this thing is getting like this, the 9 car is getting a little bit of momentum here. Look at the 32 jump out there. And he just takes the lead right just like that. So Westenberg back out front. Great corner for him. And you see the 9, that red and black on the outside now up to the 4th position. Going to the outside looking to get the 27 there. Stanton as well. See if he can do that on this corner. Not going to happen. Stanton holding tough there on with 72 on the outside. Now you see the 9 there is kind of pushing that 72 just a little bit. They've gotten around there. So now Cade is all the way back up to 3rd from his pole position. I like how he just kind of uses that draft a little bit. You know, he could go around him right there, but that would stall them both out. And by him just staying in line and pushing a little bit, it got them both all the way up to Westenberg. So I like what he's doing there. It's not always about making that pass in that moment. It's about setting yourself up to get maybe a 2 for 1 or at least get both of you close. Now you see the 9 is stuck on the bottom. Now he's got to figure out how to fix this situation because that's not going to be the fastest route there. Henderson's got the high side. Westenberg shuts it off. Aaron Stanton going to the bottom. Look at the run that he gets. Ooh, a little bit of tap there. They're all just kind of, the top 3 are just kind of bouncing off each other a little bit. We're fixing to try to go 3 wide here for the lead. The 72. Henderson kind of backed out of that. Didn't have the momentum there. 9 cars back on top. See if he can kind of get back into the top 3 here. Chris Leota in that 60 for the time we mentioned his name, cracking the top 5 now. Stanton's got got a good lead out front, but there's a little bit of a draft at this track, so that's not safe by any means. That's why you see these guys so close. And look at this. The run Shane Har in the 21 has. He's going to go to the bottom. Because I think as this race goes on, you're going to see people kind of protect the... Look at that. And Stanton goes to the lead after the 9 car got it, but he got a little squirrely there, and then look at all the momentum he's losing because of that. It's unfortunate. But he was up there for just a second. Now he's got to do it again. But he's definitely got the car and the tires for it, so no, he's not too worried about it. Look at this. I mean, this is great racing here. This is why we love Michigan. We're 3 wide for second place. Nobody's running away with it because of the fact that these cars can draft a little off of each other. And everybody's in all sorts of different lanes. Great racing here. And now we see Shane Har now really thinking about kind of competing this lead. Would be the first time for him tonight. DK Cannon up there in the 9, using as high of a position as he can. Westenberg's doing really good on the bottom here. Einkar's gonna be content with shoving the 27 right now to see if they can both clear this 32. That way it's a two-pony fight. I think he's going to get that done. He's going to get the 32 there, and now he's just got the 27 to deal with. And how's he going to deal with them? What I was trying to say before is that as this race goes on, I think that we will see that these guys are going to be protecting the high side. They're going to force people to pass them on the bottom. And so if you have fresher tires, you got to make that decision whether you're going to go to the bottom and really drive it hard, or if you're going to, be content for a little while. As you see, I believe that's a 99 right there. Oh no, that's a 60 of Chris Leota, just going way low on the track, as almost everybody else is just lined up single file now. And the 27 kind of getting out there a little bit. Pretty wide back behind there, the 42. Remember, he came down with Elijah Fisher after everybody had pit, and so kind of topped off a little bit. So he is now up there kind of fighting for position, and Fisher unfortunately is still back in the field. Let's take a look back there. He is currently in 13th position. Bunch of cars there in front of him, so not sure what that's about. Now the 32 also, Cameron Westenberg, remember he was using the bottom side and he was very, very fast there, but I think he has eaten up his tires because he's fallen all the way back down to 9th now. And I gotta believe that his tires are feeling the heat, if you will, and getting kind of worn out here. '42 is continuing to move through the field here, up to the 4th, maybe 5th position now, as Shane Har goes back by. 9 cars still pushing the 27. The 2 Chevy teammates, keep in mind. So top 3 are all Chevy. You got Shane Har there trying to crack the top 3. He's Toyota, and Chris Leota is also a Chevy, and then the 42 is a Chevy. So lots of Chevys up front here. You got Westenberg and Shane Har are the only Toyotas currently in top 10. Still not going to see Cade try to make that pass on his teammate there on the 27. So he is content right now with these guys just riding as they are. It's a good idea with as much draft as you're seeing out of these cars. The more they try to raise each other, the more these other guys come back in the picture. So probably a good strategy for them to just work together here. As you see now that 27 go a little bit lower. Looks like we were 3 wide for a moment there with the 42 on the bottom. And it's funny how these cars just yo-yo back and forth quite a bit. You know, we just saw the 21 trying to get third. Now he's back in fifth. Back down here, Mike Hauser in the 43. Haven't really talked much about him. He's kind of just having a quiet day so far, but we'll probably see him before this race is up. Back up front, lots of single file. Look at this now, the top six, all of these guys are all single file, and then they go into the corner and they fan out. Then they got almost single file, but it looks like Chris Leota there, he got kind of kicked out. Now they're all single file again, and two of them have kind of fallen off just a hair. Right there, Westenberg and Ward have kind of fallen off just a little bit, and hopefully they can kind of work together, draft up just a little bit, get caught back up to these guys. You can see pretty much the whole field right there, except for a couple of guys in the back. That is pretty much your whole field, and a lot of single file racing. So now these guys are settling in. You know, we've had maybe 20 laps since the caution. Not quite, call it 18, let's say. And they're just kind of settling in. Okay, we got another 20, 30 laps before we got to pit again. And, you know, the nerves are all done. They're just running. Tires are getting a little worn. They're having to take care of those and just race the track. And so that's why you're kind of seeing the single file settle in, and let's just run some laps here. I'll have to see when somebody decides it's time to go. I can't imagine that in this top pack that there's going to be a whole lot of angst about it, but you got to figure at some point that, you know, if you're seventh on back, you know, from, let's say, Westenberg on back, you know, it's like when we get towards the end of this run, it would be nice to make up a couple of spots. Look at how high he's running there. All the way up high now. I think that Stanton is still running kind of that middle high. We'll have to take a look at him. Our leader still kind of at just a lane and a half off of the bottom. And lane and a half there. He's just right in the middle of the track, and it's working great for him. And now we see Shane Haar going into the pits, and the 32 going into the pits. So these are two of the guys that did not pit before, who are now we're gonna see come in, and that leads into the 27, the 72, the 60. I think they all stayed out, and 42 pit and the 9 pit. So they will be fine for at least 5-6 laps longer than the rest of these guys. But that's not a huge advantage, huge difference, right? So you'll have to see when these guys, and do these teammates, the 27 and the 9, did they come in together even though they're a little bit off sequence, or what did they decide to do? And for Cade Cannon in the 9, who was our pole sitter, he came into the pits on that lap 6 caution. He was in second position at the time, and now is in second position. So look at it that way. Getting tires is a net 0 for him. He just has one less set of tires and can go a few laps longer than everyone. Not going to want to do that because he stays out and others don't. He's not going to be able to draft with anybody, and that's going to slow him down. I don't know if you caught it there, though, but Henderson just kind of scraped the wall coming off of 4 a little bit. Doesn't seem to have hurt him much, but he That's an indicator that the car is starting to slide a little bit more than you want it to. Tires are getting worn. These guys have got to decide, when are we pitting here? Now the 32 is going to be screaming through there because he's got fresh tires. It looks like Shane Hard's out front too. So the two guys that pit, it looks like they were able to get on and off without actually losing a lap. I mean, the 32 did lose a lap for a second, but he got it back. So should we get a caution, they will be on the lead lap. .42 made his way through the field, just like the 9 did, but again, the 42 kind of topped off afterwards, so maybe he could go, another lap or so. But he kind of got up to that 5th position and now is just kind of topped out. He probably used up quite a bit of tires getting back through the field, and now this just equalized. So that's not a word. Equalized. So he can't really. Not really anything he can do from there, especially with everybody just staying in a line. Now we've gone a few more laps with 33 laps in. Got a few more laps than these other cars, so at some point here these guys are gonna want to pit, unless the 21 and the 32, if they were kind of figuring, okay, let's run this backwards, and now we get 2 full runs and we only have to pit 1 more time. That may have been their strategy. I will tell you this, that those are two Toyota teammates that are in, chat together. So this may have just been a strategy. These guys may not have to pit for another 10, 15 laps. As you see now, the 72 out of line. And that's going to cost him a spot to Toyota and a spot to the 42. So not exactly what I think he wanted to do there. And now we got the 9 going low with the 72. And this is going to be kind of a net zero there. It all ended up exactly like it was going to anyway. So maybe the 9 went down to help him out. Or are they trying to swap the lead here? It looks like maybe. I think that's what happened there. Teammates trying to swap the lead a little bit. Maybe the 9 car getting a little bit too hot. But he's going to go right back to the inside. So scratch that. These guys are actually racing out here. And now these 3 teammates right here. Oh, man, the 72 almost slid up into the 27. 3 teammates up front. 3 wide for first there for a second. Can't imagine that's the way they want that to play out, but that's what happened. Now you see the 9 car here, Cade just kind of getting away a little bit. I know he's got a little bit fresher tires, but you would think that draft would kind of keep them together. And now you see the 27 kind of drawing back up to him with that draft. 9's going to go low. If that works for him. Doesn't really look like it. Let's go to the high view. You can see the momentum of 27. I don't think that bottom is fast. Now we're going to get the lead back to the 27 for the moment, but he's not on the bottom, so he's probably going to get passed on the exit here as well. He is, and it looks like he's dipping to pit road. So he was one that stayed out. And the 72 stayed out as well, so I think he may have to pit pretty soon. Probably should have pitted there with his teammate, but he chose not to. We will see when then does the 9 have to pit. 72 looking to the inside of the 9 now. He's going to take that away with ease. That's going to be... Oh, and the 60 car is on the inside. Not sure what happened right there. .72 is off pace. He's coming into the pits. Let's take a look here at Leota. See, he's already gone here. Let's see if we can back this up. Sorry, this is not very professional, but we'll take a look at this. Anyways, I don't know. They go side by side, and Chris just peels off the track. And look at how he's locked to the left. Something happened there with his rig, or look at him disappear, like something disconnected. That's what that looked like. So I'm gonna say that's probably a software issue or something like that. That's not what you want to see. But the 9 car's still out. Remember, he pitted early or late. So he's still got fuel in the tank. 42 pitted on that first one as well. 99 was the caution, so obviously he was in the pits. But these 3 are still out here. And you see the 27 behind them. Now he's a lap down because he pit. So he's going to hopefully get his lap back here. At least he hopes so. And the 72 also should be able to get a lap back. Look at how fast the 27 is coming through these guys. That shows you the difference in the tires. 72 is going to go down and follow him. Never mind, he's going to pass him as well, all the way down at the bottom, and then slide all the way up across the track, arc into the corner. Now the lead is actually these guys here, and the 42 is going to have momentum off of this corner, I believe. 9 kind of touched the wall just a little bit, no big deal. That inside not working for the 9. I think he's got to change that lineup. Not very fast for him, especially once the tires get worn. There's these 2 guys that pit early. They got their lap back, so they're good to go. And it looks like Cannon is now in 3rd. Or 2nd. Sorry, the 99 pit. He is not for position right here. My fault. 42 is the lead. 9 is 2nd. Fisher is in 3rd back here, with the 12 and the 43 behind him. I think there's still some pitting to be done here. Car Thompson is currently on pit road. And the 42, our leader, is still staying out. And most of the cars here, the 3rd place on back here, this is a bunch of cars. And then you got 52 to 44, I believe that is. 40, sorry, and the 43 all kind of racing for 5th, 6th, 7th. No signs of pitting from our leader here. You can see kind of the bit of fall off here from Cannon. They're going to run this thing out, I guess, and see if maybe if they can make it to halfway. Not too sure. Elijah Fisher's got a couple cars. There he goes. So he's going to be pitting now. And the 12 and the 43 are going to follow. So that's a bunch of Ford drivers right there going ahead and getting into the pits. And Cade Cannon is also in. So that leaves Colton Ward as the last driver here, really, to need to pit. 6th and 7th right now is Shane Haar and Wessenberg, and there you see the two of them, and they were the first ones to pit. This may put them out front. There you go. There you see Colton Ward. He's coming in, so this is going to hand the lead to Shane Haar. Now, they picked quite a bit earlier than these other folks, so I would imagine that they're going to have the lead here for a little while. But after that, I think that you're going to see these guys catch them pretty quickly here as these tires start to wear for these guys. There you go. So they have the lead. Ward is going to kind of fall back here, and you see these two guys have about a 7-second lead over Stanton, next car, and Henderson. The big kind of difference there now, obviously, the longer green flag runs, the longer you go, especially after green flag stops, field definitely starts to spread out, and that is some from saving tires and some from just the speed that you know, and the experience that drivers have, and some of it is the aggressiveness getting on and off pit road, whether you're kind of willing to drive it on that fine line of getting a speeding penalty, and some guys aren't, you know, and so there's a little bit of everything going into this. But you can see that it was about 7.25 seconds before back to Stanton. There he is there with Henderson in tow, and now it's about 6.5. So 3/4 of a second has already been shaved off here. I would assume that it's not going to be too long where these guys are knocking on the door, passing these top two drivers here. But hey, for right now, Shane Haar, Wessenberg up front. After it all cycled out to have a, let's call it a 6-second lead right now, that does bode kind of well. So if these guys continue with that trend of early pitting or short pitting, and they can, you know, they can pit again, let's say at lap 60 and have 40 laps to go, they know that on that back end they're going to have time that they're actually speeding, that they actually made up enough time to where they could get to the end of this race and still be out front. Because right now we're just now crossing the 6-second mark for the lead and over third place, and you know, it's going to take a little while. It's going to take some laps, and so this may have been a good play for these guys to short pit here. We're quickly approaching halfway. Got about a lap and a half until that happens. And it looks like, you know, these guys back behind that took a little bit longer to pitted later. Looks like they're making up about 0.2 a lap. So, I mean, these guys still got 12, 15 laps before they might get caught. So, seems like it's a good play at this point. Here you have these 4 cars here. These guys were battling a lot earlier. Some familiar faces here. And then the other thing I want to look at is Cade Cannon. Now he is in 7th position. Elijah Fisher right in front of him. He's going to have some of the freshest tires. Obviously, the 42 has the freshest of all. Is in 4th. But Cade was up there and went pretty long on that run. And now we're going to have to see from 7th, you know, what can he do? Can he get back up there to the 2nd place where he was? Can he do that, or is he going to have cost himself too much time by staying out a little too long there? And it looks like Hanrahan has gone off track. Let's see if that was did he? Oh yeah, no, he's just going to the pit. So Hanrahan is in the pits. Let's just make sure that that's what that was. it's showing me as an accident, but that looks like just. Oh, he lost it going into the pits. Okay, so, but he got it straightened out there, so he should be fine. Just that's going to cost a little bit of time. We'll go back up front here. The lead between Haar and Westenberg has not really changed much, but to Ward now. So Ward is in the second position now. He is back. Let's see, two seconds. Oh, Westenberg is pitting. Westenberg and Haar pitting. Both of them have pit. This is their spot, so they got just past halfway, and now they're coming in. So Ward is back out front, and Haar and Westenberg are continuing this run here. This short pitting kind of a thing. We'll see how this plays for them. I don't know if they can make it 48 laps, but if they can, I got to tell you, those tires are going to be worn out if we stay green. Completely worn out. Again, this 99 is not for position here. He's a couple laps down because he had an earlier accident. And we see the 21 is coming off. That's Shane Haar. He's coming off the pits road right now. Going to be exiting there. You see him in the front of the screen, exiting right there. And if he gets up to speed, he's definitely going to stay on the lead lap. If not, he's got a little bit fresher tires. He'll probably pass them in a lap or two. So they're going to go to the inside. Could be up the pace here and be able to hold these guys off, and he does. So now he's going to try to come back around. Because if he's going to try to make it the whole way, it would be best to just take her easy. The second place now is Stanton, and the 72 there of Henderson is in third. And these guys are about 3 3/4 second back. Then you go another, let's call it 2.5 seconds back, and you got these two guys of Fisher and Cannon. We'll just kind of keep an eye on the gap here a little bit and see if anybody's making up any sort of ground on the 42. 42 is the last car to pit and now is all the way back up to the front. So he must have pitted on that second caution as well and gotten fresh tires or short pitted twice or something. But he was fast and he was able to keep up there, whereas others like Cannon dropped back to 5th. So good job by him. Hopefully he didn't drive it too hard that he's going to lose some time here. Like Hauser and Henning are kind of going at it here a little bit. This would be for the 6th position. Interesting paint scheme there by Hauser. It's kind of got the old Dale Earnhardt look, but it's also got the kind of stripes on the side. It's missing one to be the E for Earnhardt for Dale Jr., but it's definitely got an Earnhardt look to it. It looks like the 12 car is able to hold him off right now. Speeds are very similar. Look like he's able to do much with him. And just looking over the last lap or two, looks like the 42 here is actually widening his lead a little bit. It was about 4.5, and now it's almost 5.5. So 42 is running some good laps right now, being the last one to pit. He got fresher tires, and he stayed up there. So 32 now looking to get around because he had already pitted. So him and the 21 had pit, so he's going to go around. Now he's got his lap back, and so he's going to try to go around just like the 21 did and see what he could do with it. Trying to look and see if there's any battles going on here. Now these two right here are teammates, so they're not going to be battling each other too hard. Cannon and Fisher still in the same positions they were You know, a lot of times you're seeing a lot of these two-car tandems here. Get here, get here, and they're drafting with each other. They found each other, and you don't really want to race them because it's just going to slow both of you down. So you want to kind of stay in line and use as much draft as you can and try to catch that tandem in front of you. And the more cars you get with it, obviously, the faster you're all going to go. But as you can see from the track map, everybody is kind of all over the place on this. They are all spread out, and so nobody really getting a huge advantage over anyone else. Go back here, 52, Jason Williams, and 40, 52, Bobby Hadaway. Now Elijah looks like he's getting a little bit of a gap there on the 9. A little bit of breathing room anyway. Currently in the 4th position, the 4 car is. 8 seconds off of the lead, and you see now the Stanton there, 72, kind of looking inside him. There's 6 3/4 off, so the 42 car has definitely got pace right now on the field. Take a look on board with the 72 cars, take a lap around this place and see what it looks like. That 27 right there, he's probably going to go to a little bit to the inside. The 27's going real wide. He's going to go in. You can hear him babying that throttle, just trying to give it as much as he can, but it just doesn't want to stick. And you see that outside kind of prevail there. Try it again here. Very close to the wall. Well, your leader, Colton Ward, has just still got that 99 right there with him. 99 has great pace, but unfortunately had that issue earlier, so he's a couple laps down. But you can see he's just hanging with the leader. He is right there. A case of what could have been for him. Now it looks like the 9 car has gotten around Elijah, so I'm not sure if he just got a run or if Elijah kind of checked up, got a little tight off a corner or something like that. But and now they are, see, Elijah's pushing pretty hard, and that's because he wants to catch this other group of cars, because now they got 4 cars in this group, and this is second, third, fourth, fifth. This group could really start to make a run on the leader. If they can get together in a line, work together. I don't think they're gonna do that here. Looks like the 9's going low, trying to see if he can make a pass. Now the 95 is entered into the picture as well. 95 is a few laps down. Looks like he's got fresher tires as well, so he may go around these guys pretty easily here. Or kind of gets back in line. Now that's good to have, though. If the 27 can hit with the 95 there, he could maybe drag this whole thing out. But see, every lap, there is one car that is diving to the bottom there. Now, Elijah got that. Going to cut that off. And now you'll see the 27 come back around, though. So these guys are racing each other. And it's you know, they're costing themselves time. Gotta get in the line and stay there if you want to catch this leader. 8.5 seconds out and gaining. I'm 65, so we're about 2/3 of the way done with this race now. This is the closest racing that we have on track right now. Elijah's kind of worked past the 9 again. He's worked past the 72. Now the 72 on the outside, so he's going to get stuck on the bottom here. And the leader of Ward was about 2/10 faster that time, so... Okay, there's Elijah's got the lead. Oh, scrapes the wall just a little bit. That's going to cost him some time for sure. I can't really blame these guys right here. You know, at almost 9 seconds of a lead, you know, this is the battle. Like I said, this is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. You know, we are not battling for 15th here. We're battling for some good positions, podium finishes. So I can't really blame these guys for racing like this, but they could all talk to each other. They probably would say, "Hey, let's just get in line here. Let's catch this guy." But they're not all in the same chat. You know, there's Ford and Chevys and so let's see. Now there you see Stanton giving a push to the 4, which is good. That's what they need. That's what's going to shave time. You see there just in that corner for a second there, they got it back under 9 seconds. So that's what they need to be doing. Elijah needs to protect the high side here. It is the fastest route. He's actually going to go to the bottom. He got a little space there, but they do got momentum on him. Elijah's committed to going to the bottom. I guess he does like that route, and he's doing well. I mean, he got up front, all 4 of these, you know, he's in the front of this 4-car pack, so he's doing what he needs to do right now. But we got another couple tenths that the leader has on them, so look at that side by side from those two. Look a little bit further back. Got Hauser and you got Henning. These guys are not in that top group, but they're not too far behind that group. There's another couple of seconds behind him. That 12 could get a little closer. He could kind of use that draft. Maybe they could catch him a little bit, but that is 6th and 7th right there. We'll go back to the main battle here with 30 laps to go. Now, I mean, think about it. Just a few laps ago, we were talking about 9 seconds. They were in line sub 9 seconds, and now it's almost 10 seconds. Colton Ford got it dialed in, and the 99 is right with them, and that's amazing to me. And the 99 is really the only reason that the 42 is this fast, because if he was riding by himself, he'd have absolutely no draftability whatsoever, and probably would not be holding those speeds. Let's see this right here. 99 is absolutely committed to making this 42 fast. He is 2 laps down, and he's just drafting with the leader. He could easily go around right there and get a lap back. And then if a caution came out, you know, he may have the opportunity of a lucky dog, but he's not interested in that. He's interested in making this 42 fast. So that is why these guys can't pass him. The 72 now has gotten around around 4 car. 72 is a lap down though, so not a position. So Elijah Fisher still in the second position. I'm trying to figure out what we missed here. So it looks like the 27 and the 72, 27 is pit and the 72 pit. It just came out like right there with them. So now it's basically just the 4 and 9 here in second and third, and they've got to figure out, one, how to work together, make sure that they keep speed. Two, when are they going to pit? Because we're coming up to 25 to go here. The other guys just pit. That means they're coming out with faster tires. Now, how long do you want to let this go? Going to have faster tires on the back end, but give it up time now. These guys are in the seeker. So they pitted. Payton and Henderson pitted. They're in 7th and 8th. So, and look at them just going by people. And it won't be too long before they get their lap back on track here with Dave God. Shane Haar, haven't talked about him in a little bit. He is in the 6th position. Might be getting another spot or two there because a couple of guys are pitting. Hauser and Henning are both pitting now. And so Shane Haar is going to be up into the 4th position, kind of on a slightly different timing and strategy than these other drivers. And so with Hauser and Henning, they're going with 25 to go, so they'll have 25 laps on this last run. Now, when are these guys going to come in? Fisher, Cannon, when are they going to come in? And then we're going to have to see if the leader, the 42, is going to have to pit again at all because he was so late on the first one. It's possible that he could go all the way or maybe just splashes a little bit of fuel and says, the heck with tires, because he's going to have a very big lead. And looks like something happened with the tower. So hold on one second. Let me see if I can fix that for us as we keep our eye on Fisher Cannon here to see when they're going to pit. Not this time. I'm not sure what's going on with the tower not working, so I'll have to just give it to you manually, I guess, but yeah, these guys are still not pitting, and maybe they can go. We'll just have to see here. Look at 9-car. Thought he was going to try to do something there, but he's not. Okay, so now the 4 is coming in. The 9 did not, so the 9's going to stay out for right now. Look at the 43 just go by because Hauser, because he is pit already, so he's a lot faster. Colton Ward still up there with the 99 in tow. And now the 9 is going to come in. So that's going to be pretty much everybody except for our leader. Our leader is back on pit road now too. So we'll have to see exactly what happens here. How this all shakes out. Shane Haar, though, is going to end up in the lead for the moment as soon as he comes around here. Got to take a look. We're on lap 80, so we have 20 laps to go. Sorry that I have to pull that up. That's the only way I can see it at this point because our tower is down. So 20 laps to go here. Everyone has pit. Shane Haar is the leader. Aaron Stanton is there with the 72 in tow, now second and third. These guys are 5 seconds off of Shane Haar. So Haar has that 5-second lead. Again, Shane Haar was short pitting for the entire race and does not have to pit again, but does have slightly older tires. For Mike Hauser, he's now in the 4th position. He pitted a little bit earlier as well, and there's Elijah Fisher. Now, Elijah Fisher's got to have fresher tires. I'd imagine he's going to be going around this 43 pretty quickly here. And see if he can get around that 95, though, but he's back into the 4th position now. Can't quite get around him there. Even Henning now, you see him in the 12 car. He's in the 6th position. He's a few seconds off. So Shane Haar has the lead. Got that 99 car there now by himself, so he can try to drag a little bit off of him and see if he can get up there. And unfortunately, can't bring the tower up because something happened with our live scoring, so we're just going to have to look manually. We've got 17 laps to go now. Shane Haar in the lead, but that lead is down to 3 3/4 of a second from about 4.5 a couple laps ago. So Aaron Stanton there with the 72, Josh Henderson behind him. They are definitely catching Shane. We'll have to see where that all shakes out in here. 3 1/4 seconds now, so they're quite a bit faster. With 16 laps to go, I got to imagine these guys are going to catch Shane. Colton Ward was in the lead. He pitted, but he is back in 10th now. 37 seconds off the lead, so he must have had something happen there on pit road. Took him quite a while to get through the pits. But I don't think he's going to have a chance here with 16 laps to go. I think Shane Haar is probably going to get passed by these guys here. As long as they can stay in line and work together. Now 2.8 seconds to the lead. Elijah Fisher still dealing with that. Oh, and he kind of clipped the wall there just a little bit. And that 12 car is 4 position behind him. That's Henning there. So Henning is trying to get around the 4 as well, or trying to get around the 95 so he can get to the 4. The 95 is a few laps down, so it'd be nice of him to get out of the way. Oh, look, that's Mike Hauser right there that was way out of control there. And that is actually for the 4th position, so Elijah Fisher is going to go around there. Looks like Hauser just got really loose. Shane Haar is back in the pits, so he was not able to make it all the way. Aaron Stanton is going to be in the lead now. Josh Henderson behind him. So a couple of teammates there up front. Elijah Fisher now is going to be scored in third. Cade Cannon now coming back through. Now that he's got tires, he's going to be in fourth. Mike Hauser there is in fifth after a little bit of a hiccup there. Stephen Henning is going to be in the sixth position right now. And let's see if these guys get to racing here because they are close. We are getting down in the laps. So even though they're teammates, it's time to go win. Doesn't look like Henderson can make up any room on him, though. They're pretty evenly matched in speed here. These two cars have about a 4-second lead on the 4 car there of Fisher. So no real threat there. 9 car was definitely catching up and now seems to have kind of leveled off a little bit. The 52 and 40. The 40 has kind of caught the 52, but now that he's there, getting close, swinging around the outside there. Go back up front to the lead. Not a whole lot changing there. Doesn't seem like the 72 is able to make any runs. Nothing happening there. Go back here, look at third and fourth. Same thing, just kind of same. Now you see the 9 with a little bit of a run there, but not enough to really get close to him. So we're seeing the 2 car tandems again, but the same situation. Both of them, not really much they can do as far as making runs. Take a look back at Hauser here with the 12. Again, same thing, 2 car tandem, but can't really do much with it. I think the tires are getting worn to the point where you just can't outdrive somebody. It's just caught out there, too slick. Not much they can do. Now you see the 72 going to the inside, kind of had a run on him, but cutting it down on the track like that just killed the momentum. Still waiting for somebody to ride the outside, ride that wall. Now, you got to say that you just saw the 4 car there come into the picture of the leaders. These guys are catching them. There's about a 1.8 second gap now. So it's possible. Not, let's go to the blimp and see how often we can see them kind of get into the picture here. Don't see them on the backside there yet. They're in the corner. They just barely come into the picture a little bit. There you can see it. Now it looks like it's down to about 1.5 seconds. So they are catching the leaders. We have, hold on, let me see. We have 8 laps left to go here. .4 seconds back to Elijah Fisher there. Now we can see them in the screen on the straightaway. Is there enough laps for these guys to catch them and make a race out of it? That is the question. 1.2 seconds now. They are definitely catching. Look at now the 72 is going to go for the lead here. This is going to slow the leaders down, which is definitely going to draw these guys in. He's not able to make the pass. But they weren't able to close the gap much at all on that, so avoided that there, but you can see they're definitely getting closer here. The 4 is much faster going through 1 and 2. He just made up about 0.2 of a second right there in those 2 corners. And he really needs that 9 to catch up to him so that he can kind of get a little push in the straightaways so that they can work together to catch this group. Six, 7/10 of a second now. Definitely closing up. The 4 is gapping the 9 now. The 4 is having to do it all by himself. He's just got to find the speed by himself here. Five laps to go. And now you see Fisher is there. A couple more car lengths and he's actually going to get a little bit of a draft, a little bit of a toe off these guys. There he is. He's with them. Now we got 3 cars for the lead, and the 9 car is coming to him as well. What is Fisher going to do now? He has been running the bottom. He likes the bottom. Is he going to follow the 72? No, he's going to stay up to the high side with the 27, but the 72 definitely has that. He's going to try to shut the door there, but the 27's got momentum. Gets back onto the outside there. This may open the door. The 4 is going to go all the way to the bottom as the 72 tried to block him there. I think that's going to be 4 laps to go. Oh, the 27 has clipped the wall. Keeps it under power. 72's got some momentum on the bottom there as well. Dude, the 27 is just riding the 4 car. That cost them both a little bit of momentum. Three laps to go now. And Elijah Fisher has the lead. Can he hold it on the bottom, though? Henderson's going to get it back. Got the 27 behind him. Let's go up high here so we can see the momentum in the run. 4 car does not have it at this point. Again, sorry about our tower and ticker not working for some reason right now. Just stopped on us, but we got a good one here. Fisher going to the bottom again for the lead. Now we got a lap car here in the 32. We're gonna have to see what he's gonna do, but look at that great corner there. Elijah's he's got to stay underneath that 32. Use him as a pick. Gonna go to the outside now. Just didn't work out there. But now nobody's gonna be able to use that inside because the 32 is there. They do get by him a little bit there. There goes the 72. Going to try it again. 3 and 4. Excuse me. Elijah's got it. 27. Stanton's going to go with them here. Stanton can't get up, though. As we cross the line right there, we are on the last lap, y'all. This is it right here. The 4 car of Elijah Fisher is there. The 9 of Cade Cannon trying to get into the mix, trying to get that podium as well. As you see the 72 up high. And the 4, you see him dip out of lane. He didn't want the 27 getting any draft off of him. Now you see Fisher's got a great, not momentum, but he's got great gap. And even if the 27 has a run here, it's going to be really hard. But look at the run that set 27 gets. He's going to have to block this. Can he block it? He can't. It's going to be Stanton at the line over Fisher. Oh, what a run. And the 72 of Henderson gets third place. I thought for sure Fisher had that going into 3, but man, what a great corner by the 27. And he is going to end up getting that win. Now, we can't pull up the grid because it's not working, but I will tell you this. So Aaron Stanton's going to get the win tonight. Elijah Fisher gets second. Josh Henderson is going to be in third. Fourth is going to go to Cade Cannon. The fifth position is going to go to Mike Hauser. Steve Henning ends up in sixth. Jason Williams is going to be seventh. Colton Ward ends up eighth. Shane Hard ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is Bobby Hadaway. That is your finishing order tonight. What an amazing finish. What a great race. Let's see if we can get some interviews here with our top finishers. Let's start with Josh Henderson in that 72 and see if we can grab him. Josh Matthew in the booth, got me?
Nose. Pull up. Yeah, I got you, buddy. What's up?
Hey, great race out there. I know you guys are probably still trying to burn it down and do some celebrations, but just a moment here. So you got your third place position. Great run out there. It was a lot of back and forth. Like, how was the race and the drafting out there?
Yeah, buddy. Feels good to talk to you 2 weeks in a row here. So we're finally starting to get it together. Just putting a complete race, start to finish together. Honestly, feel bad for Colton. He sped there on pit road. He had the strategy. He was gone. He was in his own zip code. But yeah. Aaron and I, we stuck to our thing, right? That's my brother. So we had a plan. We knew Elijah was going to catch us there at the end. Aaron did a great job just saving a little bit of tire. I got antsy and said it's go time, right? Which didn't help because then we got side by side. But to be honest with you, I don't even know what happened those last 3 laps. I think we were both holding our breath the entire time. And I'm really proud of my brother. That was a heck of a move. I knew coming off 4, no matter where he went, I was going to try to get down there behind him and push if I could. But honestly, I never even had momentum to help him if I wanted to. So great job on his part, side drafting. It was just top notch on him. I'm really proud of him because, he had less tire, but he was able to pull it off.
Absolutely. You guys both look like you were working well together tonight, and it worked out. Give us your friends, family, sponsors. Who do you want to thank for tonight's race?
I want to thank my grandpa. I know we're going to show him this replay here. He's going to get a kick out of it. That's the whole Wellburn racing thing. So at some point he's going to watch that, and I know he's going to jump out of his seat when he sees it. So just appreciate you guys. Appreciate my wife letting me do this run. Monday, Thursday nights. I got a family. I got 2 boys. They're going to be excited to see that finish too. And I don't get a lot of time to do this, but when I do, it's a heck of a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys for putting it on.
Very good. Thank you very much. Go enjoy your third place, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir. See you next week.
All right, let's move on now. Let's see if we can get Elijah in here. He's not too busy with managerial duties. Elijah Matthew in the booth, got me?
Yes, I do.
Well, great run out there. We thought you had it so close. Take us through those closing laps, man. It was exciting.
Yeah, man, that's tough. I wanted that one bad, but we were gaining on them, and I don't know. I told myself, I needed to take the Harvick lane up by the outside one more time, and I don't know. It wasn't really the pressure. Just something in my mind was like, let me get to the bottom, and I think I made the right call because I had enough momentum. But just the veteran in me, I'm not gonna, force him too low, and I felt like if I tried to block, we would have probably been turned. Just because nerves and being too late on it. Some poor execution was gonna happen, and. That's just the veteran in me. It's hard racing, and I'm not going to wreck somebody for it. He earned it just as hard as, I tried to earn that P2 or try to snag it from him too.
Yeah, it was, you're right. I mean, you went low, but if you would have tried to block any harder, you guys both would have probably crossed the line backwards. And that's just racing sometimes, But you had a good run. You had a good strategy, too. I mean, when you guys were pitting was kind of in the middle of some others. And so... you were, you did everything you needed to do. Were the tires just giving up hard through middle of run, or how was it feeling for you?
Honestly, when we got into pit road, I figured we'd have a little bit of wear on the tires, but it wasn't like what the 27 and 72 had. So, Cade Cannon was helping us out to catch. And that's all we really needed was that draft. And I just figured it's got to be fast laps all the way to the end. It was hard to get around these guys. It really truly was. They put on a really good effort to try to keep me behind. And I think once we got to the lead there, coming off a turn 2, that draft is just insane. It had nothing to do with tires.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see it early on that draft was going to play into it, but it made for some great racing and some great broadcast, because there was some close racing, some tandem racing. It didn't get too spread out, so it was good. But congratulations, second place. Give us friends, family, sponsors. Who do you want to thank for tonight's race?
Well, I'm gonna thank Aaron for not, you could have raced that different too. So
Yes.
just got to thank him for the sportsmanship every week. It's fun to race these guys. I'm kind of disappointed. Obviously we didn't get it, but just I guess shout out to be part of the picture and for his win. But thank you, Mom, for watching. Everybody on the stream is watching. Thank you for broadcasting this. Everybody out inspired. Might have been a little boring there, but at least we put on a show at the end. So thanks for sticking around for it. Just had to wait for the good stuff, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's racing sometimes. Well, awesome, man. Congratulations again on second place. We'll see you on the track next week.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right. So now let's switch. Let's go to Aaron Stanton and see if we can grab our race winner. Aaron, Matthew in the booth. You got me?
What's up, Matt?
Hey, great run out there. You and the 72 working together tonight. Tell us about the run, the tires, the strategy. I want all of it.
It was all just a tire game, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I knew that last stop. I knew, Falcon or Elijah and Cade were gonna catch us anyway, so I was still just like saving tire. Like it was inevitable that they were gonna get to us, so I just saved as much tires because I knew like once they get to us, I was gonna have another shot, and that's what happened.
Yeah, well, with it's not Daytona, it's not drafting, but there definitely is a draft there, and so yeah, that's definitely the right way to play it, because you don't want to eat it up trying to keep them behind you when you know they're coming. And once they got there, you guys were jockeying around quite a bit. I was like, this can go really good or really bad, But take me through kind of your mentality, your thought process from your side with Elijah there at the end, and how hard of a block were you going to accept?
I don't know. We've always kind of just raced each other super aggressively. It's just how we've been racing each other for quite a while. So
yeah.
Elijah got out front, and I tried to push my brother through, and my brother messed up the next corner, and I just kind of took advantage of it. And because once I was in third, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just sat there and was like, I'll let them battle. But then my brother messed up, so I was like, now I have the draft and the shot, so
Go time.
I pulled it off.
Yep. Well, it was a great race. I mean, you guys played the strategy right. Everything went well. You can't ask for more. So congratulations on first place. Give us, friends, family, sponsors, whoever you want to thank for tonight's race.
Like to thank you for streaming it. This race probably was fun as crap to watch. So I'm gonna have to watch it later.
It was not bad. It was not bad. It's better than watching people pace. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Well, at least you had strategy to talk about, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
we were everybody was on a bunch of different strategies.
There was 3-4 different strategies for sure.
Yeah. I'd like to thank my brother for doing this stuff with me. Thank Elijah for putting this stuff on, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Very good. Well, congratulations again on the win. We'll see you on track next week.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you have it. That is your top 3 finishers there, with Aaron Stanton getting the win here in Michigan. Great race from him. It's been a blast. Sorry again that the telemetry kind of crapped out on us with 25 to go, but we got the race in. It was fun doing it. We will see you guys next week. Take care. Be good.